You mentioned that it's been a while since you've listened to guitarists, right? That happened to me too, funny enough, because people still ask, why don't you listen to guitarists anymore?
So I'm going to throw that question back at you. Why don't you listen to guitarists anymore? There are several reasons. One of them is to try to sound more personal, with more personality, to sound more like yourself. That was one of the reasons. Thank you. The second reason is because I started to become interested in other styles of music. Actually, I've always been interested in other styles of music, but I began to focus more on listening to other things and drawing influences from other places, right? And especially the aspect of composition, listening to many singers. So, for example, when there's a guitarist I'm listening to, it's actually not because I'm listening to the guitar, but because I'm listening to him as a composer or the songs, and then the guitar ends up coming along, right? But what's interesting to me is that as a big fan of Stevie Ray Vaughan, I started to, when I started playing blues, like I learned everything note by note, including that thing of playing with a 0-3 string, all that stuff. We can talk more about it later, because I don't do that anymore, but I used to. And then I reached a point where I started to see myself, wow, it sounds a lot like Steve, right? Where's Arthur, right? Where am I in this? And then I stopped listening to Steve Ray Vaughan.
It's a demand you put on yourself.
Mind, yes. So I stopped listening. And actually, recently I listened to a few things again and found it amazing. Because I started collecting vinyl again, buying some records, and then I got some of Steve's, and listening again. Wow, why did I stop listening?
It's really good. It's really awesome. But it's funny that at the beginning we need to copy a lot, right, man? There's no other way but that. And I also think it's cool to have this break, to find your own path, because then every professional musician, and even your own voice, right, man? And also you ended up going in a different direction where, man, the voice became something important for you. Yes. And it's one more thing for you to worry about. Composition has become something important for you. And then it starts to compete with Arthur the guitarist, right? And how do you deal with that, since you need to have a routine of things, or is there no routine at all, man? How does that work for you there?
It's hard to have a routine because of the demands of day-to-day life, tours, shows and such, right? And besides that, like everyone, we have our jobs. But besides that, we have to be at home too, have to wash dishes, have to do laundry, have to pay bills, it's a lot. There's not much time left, right? Many people ask, hey, how much time do you practice guitar per day? I don't play guitar every day. When I have a chance to play for half an hour a day, and that's great when it happens, but usually it's during the guide and rehearsal, or if I'm composing something, right? But it's like that, the matter of balancing, being a composer, a singer, and so on. It's kind of a natural thing too, you know? There's no set routine for that, no.
I believe you must work by season like that. Like, this season I'm being more required to be a composer.
Yes.
Right? Exactly like that. I don't need to record an album. You don't spend the whole year composing. I believe not, right?
No.
You should.
Actually, every composer says that, right?
Yeah, but it's the matter of adult life, right, brother? Man, I should do more of this, but I can't, right? Because you need to, it's what you said, you have a manager, is that it? You have someone who does it. So at least one side you can deliver 100%, but there are other sides, like at home. You have to take care of household chores together with your wife, who is your girlfriend. Do you live with her? Yes. Who, by the way, is the bassist of his band, right?
Yeah, Pollyanna is amazing. We were talking about her earlier here.
Very cool. Great bassist, great artist. So she also has to do her tours. She's not always with you, right? But then, if you think about it, man, Arthur arriving there in Los Angeles in 2016 or 18. 16 already. 16. And 16 or 18, 16 is 16. Practically your life must have been playing guitar, dedicating yourself. And you see the guy today, 8 years later, a lot has changed. And one of them is how you share your life, your tasks. Did you imagine it would be like this? What is the good side of what you are living, this dream of your solo career? What changed in your mind? Did you think it was something? What is that love? What isn't? Because you are at a very cool moment where your career is solidifying more each day. You're living a dream, right, man? So go ahead and tell us.
It's interesting to answer this kind of question. Because we dream of something. And sometimes it takes a long time to happen when it does. And then when it happens, either you're so tired from the battle to get there that you don't have the energy to celebrate, or you realize that maybe it wasn't even that. It wasn't how I thought it would be. It was a dream that was nurtured when you were younger. And when you experience it firsthand, you see, it's not quite like we thought it would be. But I say this isn't about being ungrateful for the achievements or anything. I am grateful, happy with the things that happen. But it's different from what we think, right? Because it took us so long, right? We, musicians too, guitarists anyway, teachers, artists, we have a very strong connection. It's a difficult profession. So we keep hitting a brick wall, right? Until we realize that, hey, let's not hit the tip, let's hit the handle of the knife, which is better, right? Change some things, others, but it's more like that.
It's because I think that a solo career, I have mine on a much smaller scale. I play a sound that is much more niche, right, man? And I never sang either. And you, with your voice, end up having a much greater reach, right, man? I think that's amazing. But I think a career is like harvesting corn. It's not just one corn, man. It comes with a cob. It comes with the stalk, And then you have to stay,
it comes with pests, right?
It comes with pests. A lot of pests, actually. When you experience this, because from afar looking, maybe we would only see, man, I think the harvest is just corn, right? Then you have to stay there shelling it. I imagine you must spend, man, a good few hours of your week just dealing with things that have nothing to do with playing, composing, and singing. But that's adult life, right, man? So what do you need? What demands your attention throughout the week, for example?
All these work-related things that aren't connected to the play, even with a manager, even with a booking agency, which is the agency that schedules the shows and all, having people working for you and everything, it's still a lot to handle. Because the impression is, okay, now that there are people working for me and helping me, there will be a bit more free time. But actually, these people helping bring more opportunities. So actually, there isn't much extra time left.
Do you handle that well?
Yes and no. When I know, for example, I'm someone who has always really enjoyed physical activity. And the tours are such that the schedule is so tight with a lot of travel. It's been a long time since I've gone to the gym to do the things I really like and have consistency with it, right? It's, I also have to divide, as we mentioned, the tasks of taking care of the house, the issues of being an immigrant living in a country. So there's a lot more to deal with, right? If we were born there, it would be different, right? That's why sometimes people are very impressed and like, wow, congratulations. I know you're not from here. You're here with everyone and doing your thing. It's amazing because then people know that those who come from outside, actually we who come from outside know more than they do. They see one thing, but it's still much more complicated. So it's difficult to compete with someone who has 30 years of networking and you arrive there for 5 years and suddenly you're already here working. The competition is very intense. The language issue, the fiscal life issue, income tax, these things, there's a lot involved. But I deal with it in the best way possible, I think. I try to be a little kind to myself, invest in meditation, which I really like. But I'm a bit disconnected from it too, but it helps me a lot. It's my cat, it helps me a lot. We also have a cat, Poliana and I.
Does he come?
No, the cat stays there. The cat stays. Another thing we worry about when we travel, we have to, that too.
I have 2 kittens too. Cats are really cool. Yeah, man. Cats are really cool. Thank you for watching this segment of Starling Cast. You can watch the full episode here in the video description. And take the opportunity, if you're a guitarist, to join the largest virtual school in Brazil, exclusively for guitarists, by clicking on the QR code or in the video description. I'll see you there.